Hey, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome to your 2025 New Year Tarot reading, which I'm really excited about. So we're stepping into a brand new year, and I've created this pick a card reading to help guide you through what's ahead. So together we'll look back at the lessons from last year and see what's coming for you in 2025. Challenges, opportunities, and the overall theme for the year. So I've picked 3 decks. And I've chosen the Fool card from each deck, as the Fool card to me symbolises new beginnings. It's all about fresh starts, new adventures, and trusting the journey ahead. So group number 1, we have the Guardian of the Night Tarot deck, and this is the Fool card from that. Group number 2, I've chosen the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and this is the Fool card from that deck. And group number 3, this is the Muse Tarot deck, and this is the Fool card from there. So take a moment to pause, take a breath, and focus on the new year, and pick the pile that feels right for you, and let the cards reveal your story for 2025. And you'll find the link to your reading in the description box below, and I'll see you there. Love and light. Hey group number 1, and welcome to your reading, and you chose the beautiful Guardian of the Night Tarot deck. So we've just got the Fool card off to the side here, which, like I mentioned before, represents new beginnings, fresh starts, and entering the unknown as we enter into 2025. I've shuffled and pulled out all your cards, but I haven't looked at them yet. We'll do that together in real time now. So let's go to your first placement, which is the major lesson from 2024. So what was the most important thing that you learned last year? Let's see. We have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is all about staying centered in when there can be quite a lot of chaos and busyness that is surrounding you. And so Two of Pentacles, it can be that in 2024 that you had periods where there was a lot going on. So this can be emotionally, this can be practically, it can be both of those things. So take what resonates with that. But to me, this card talks about it, the word, because we've got dolphins here, tailspin always comes to mind. So there's almost like a whirlpool of emotions, a whirlpool of activity. There's a real intensity to this, and at times you may have felt like that you were going around in circles with someone or in a situation, coming back to, you know, kind of repeating the same emotions and not being able to break free of this. And also this card talks about, in the traditional deck Two of Pentacles, it has this juggling energy of having to wear a lot of hats, or having to be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And the message and from Spirit, and the lesson that we see of what you learned in 2024 is how to stay centered in the midst of this. I mean, it's really such a big lesson, and one that we all continue to learn. Yet it's about finding the calm in the storm. This is exactly what this looks like to me. The eye of the storm, that's where you'll find that calmness, that stillness that is always within us, whatever's going on around us, and finding ways that work for us to tap into holding on to that. Just being able to keep coming back to yourself and not getting lost in this tailspin. And even if it feels like Groundhog Day, or that you're not making any progress, you are, if you can keep coming back to yourself and remain grounded and making progress and improvements of this being able to get easier in a way for you, group number one, and be able to carry that into 2025. And it makes us less fearful as well about going into situations or dealing with people, because we know that we always have this center of calm and this anchor to come back to. So it doesn't really, other people have less influence on us as well, because other people can obviously bring their chaos, people that we have in our lives that we can't cut ties with, you know, or situations that we can't just walk away from. We have to deal with them. People can bring their chaos and their influence into, and their vibration into our existence. That's happening all the time. We can't really avoid that. But if we can hold on to this protective, centered, grounded energy, then, you know, we're going to be okay, essentially. So that's the most important thing that you learned from 2024 and that you can carry into this new year, which is a really important lesson. So placement number 2, this is your greatest achievement in 2024. So what are your most proud moments and biggest achievements of last year? It's exciting. The Chariot, a major arcana. So big achievements. The Chariot is all about making progress and forward motion. So if you did feel this, or if you didn't, you really have made a lot of progress in an area that you've been working on. So what has been that focus? Is it been in career? Has it been in a relationship? Has it been about self-improvement and self-growth? Take what resonates to your particular situation, area that you've been wanting to see movement. And always with the Chariot, the strongest message that I always take from the Chariot is being able to reach a certain place of being so determined that setbacks no longer put you off or throw you off. Yeah, it's not about, the Chariot to me is always about not expecting that things will just happen easily or unfold without problems, without obstacles. But the Chariot isn't scared or worried that any obstacles will block them to get them to where they want to be. They have a confidence instead that whatever's thrown in their path, they will be able to overcome. They're the Chariot energy is so determined, so focused, and so confident in a way that self-doubt is no longer an issue. So this is your greatest achievement, is getting to this place, I think, of determination. Kind of similar echo and energy of this, of a lesson about, despite what's going on around you, kind of being less influenced by that. Group number one is what I'm seeing overall, is that you've created this boundary and this good separation now, where it's what you want and your power and your control and influence in the situation is stronger, and you have more confidence and more understanding of that, and you can feel it and you can rely on it, and it really frees us up to be able to be less fearful, have less worries, have less self-doubt, because we have this kind of newfound confidence that it's in our control. If that makes sense. Let's move on now to placement 3, which is what you've released. So something that you needed to let go of and that you've been able to. So what have you let go of to make space for the new? Oh, if I can get this. Another major arcana, the Hierophant. This is, to me, the Hierophant always talks about rules. And what I'm hearing, I'm getting a message here come through that what you're releasing is the rule book. So restrictions, again, people's other outside influence really kind of telling you what to do, saying that, you know, if you want to achieve this, whatever your goal and dream has been, group number one, that it has to happen a certain way, that we're told, you know, if it was a relationship, for example, that it has to be go down this certain route. It has to look traditional. Or if you've had setbacks, then you may have people around you saying that, you know, it can't work, it needs to end because of that. But actually you find a way to work it out and work it through and do it your own way. The Hierophant here is it can be in its positive sense, looking up to someone and a mentor of sorts. But in this placement for you, group number 1, what I'm seeing is that you've unlocked with this key a certain freedom of being able to do things your own way, and in turn really you've become the mentor, you've become the person that people look up to, and you've stopped waiting for permission on how to do things, and you've decided to do things your own way. So what you've released is the rule book, is that things have to look a certain way and things have to, there's only a certain path. The Hierophant is about traditions and a traditional way of doing things, and there being certain steps, and it feels a very positive thing and a very empowering thing, group number 1, that you've released that rule book and decided at some point along the way that you were going to do it your way, and that you were going to carve out your own path. And if you've had setbacks, not take that as a sign or as you know, word of God, that means that you shouldn't be on this path or you shouldn't be doing that. Similar to these energies, carving out your own path, tuning out other people's voices, doing things a different way, and really just beginning to tread a very unique path of your own. There lies a lot of freedom in that, and coming to that understanding, group number 1. Placement 4. So what awaits you in 2025? We begin to look now forward to the year ahead. So what energy or opportunities are coming for you this year? I'm excited to see what this is. Wow, the 10 of Cups. Emotional fulfillment is on its way to you, group number 1. How wonderful. And this comes from this energy, okay, about this work that you've done here, about these changes that you've made. It's 10 of Cups is, like I say, emotionally, about our emotions, okay? And the 10 is about reaching an important milestone, something that you've wanted for some time. And I think by doing things your own way and by tuning out other people's voices, maybe negative voices, but beginning to tread your own path, is the continuation of this as it rolls over into 2025. Is that you begin to experience and reach true emotional fulfillment on a deep level. So it goes beyond the superficial, or it goes beyond the materialistic. When we see cups, cups is about our soul's journey, a heartfelt path, a softer side, being able to be a softer side of ourselves, and maybe being on a more unusual path and a unique path that might surprise you and might surprise those around you. I do see you connecting as well with your soul family. So for some of you, this can be a deepening connection with family members who maybe there's been a distance with. For others, it may be that new people come into your path in 2025 who you connect with on a deeper level, so on a spiritual level. So as you've aligned with your true path, yeah, as you've we've seen from these past cards, begin to create your own path and kind of go off piste and do things differently. This in turn is when people who align with you in a real way begin to come into your energy field begin to come into your life. It all goes hand in hand, yeah, because if we're treading a path that doesn't really fit with us, we're going to meet a lot of people more than likely who also don't align with us. You know, if you've tread in the past, maybe if this, for some of you, it might be career related and you've gone, you know, down a very corporate path for some of you, then you're going to come across a lot of, if you imagine a corporate personality, you know, people who are maybe different to you. If you're naturally thrive, really, if you've started your own business and you've become self-employed, this is just one example, okay, but take what resonates to your situation. And then you'll begin to, you know, it just kind of goes hand in hand, really, that if you're living your path, then people who you resonate with on a deep level and actually have something to offer you, yeah, they actually understand you and have something to bring to you in this situation. All this 10 cups representing almost cups, I feel like, coming towards you from others. Every one of these people, this is like a woodland scene, but to me represents people coming into your life, have something to offer you. So this is what's unfolding for you in 2025. Wonderful energy, really positive. Let's move on. Placement 5 is what's your biggest challenge in 2025. So what obstacle, if I can speak, obstacle might you face and how can you overcome it? Interesting. 4 of Wands. A couple of messages here. 4 of Wands can be making sure that you create time for rest. Group number 1, this could be an ongoing issue for you, that's something that you still need to work on. That rest is the message being, try to remember this in 2025. Rest is as important as action. So rest isn't like a state of not doing, if that makes sense. It's like the rest is helping the bigger picture, is helping your journey, is essential to success. Okay, rest is essential to success, and we're told very different every day by society. It really flies in the face that, you know, we're constantly told that we need to be busy now and to be achieving, doing, constantly, okay? And rest is frowned upon. Rest is still very judged. But rest is, you know, a natural state, is just as important as action. So that, I feel like, group number 1 is a message for you. For some of you with the 4 of Swords, you can see this hedgehog who is kind of buried under this wood. For a few of you, I actually think the main message is about the rest, but for some of you, there is a tendency maybe somewhere along the line about hibernating, and we don't want to get stuck down here, and make sure that we're not being avoidant of coming to the surface when it's the right time. It's like that balance, yeah, the 4 of Swords. It's like when we come up and there is a time for action and there is a time to connect, you know, to connect with your soul family that we've seen here, to connect with what we love. So if you're someone who, tell what resonates with this, leave what doesn't. You know, if you're someone though who maybe will retreat into their shell and has a tendency to isolate, it's almost like the Hermit card vibes when we see this 4 of Swords. The importance of rest, like I mentioned, but making sure that we aren't hiding. This is just for some of you, okay? And not being yeah, just try not to sink into that and isolate yourself if things get tricky. Okay, keep pushing forward nonetheless. Try to strike that right balance, which we're always all working on, you know, striking that balance of rest and action. So that's the challenge, that's the obstacle. Nothing too scary. Moving on to this is your greatest opportunity for 2025, which is exciting. So where can you shine or grow the most this year? The King of Cups. So for some of you, this is a connection with a King of Cups. So this is an actual person who you may already have in your energy field. The connection deepens. For some of you, this can be a new person coming through. King of Cups, so can be a water sign or have a lot of water in their astrological chart. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The King of Cups is someone who feels and thinks deeply, okay? Can generally be, I get like a reserved energy, you know, that they are quite cautious with how they communicate and who they share their world with, yeah? And this is someone, so this is an opportunity for some of you to connect with this person on a very deep level. And I feel like there will be a strong influence on each other. So them on your life and you on them. And yeah, this will be when it's your greatest opportunity. So what I'm hearing and feeling is that so much will come from this union and this connection. There's something I'm very drawn to as well, how this killer whale here has this cup at the very top of his nose in a way, but it's coming out of the water to rise, to lift it up, to support this connection. That this is very important to them, their connection with you, essentially, yeah. And it's about protecting both of you, protecting and preserving this cup, which represents the connection. So for some of you that may not be interested in or doesn't in either if this was a romantic connection, for some of you it could be like a business connection, that you actually meet someone again who can really help you along this path, which is interesting as well. But for others, this is about the King of Cups is someone who is able to finally come into emotional balance, feels connected to this Ten of Cups, about reaching a certain place of inner peace, really. The King of Cups is finally being able to reach that place of balance where we're able to feel our feelings and not suppress them, not oppress these emotions. But we can feel them and we can process them and not be overwhelmed. It's like reaching a certain level of emotional intelligence, a certain level of emotional groundedness, however you want to view it, you know, but it's having this kind of newfound groundedness, almost building on this Two of Pentacles, this centered, grounded feeling that we saw at the very beginning, but a continuation and a deepening, because the King is like obviously much further along in the deck, in that they have a deeper understanding of this lesson, a stronger handle on the situation. And the King is not easily thrown off, okay? They will, like I say, kind of just say what needs to be said and no more. Yeah, they feel things very deeply, are empathic and sensitive, and aren't giving that up, but they just have reached that level of wisdom and understanding where they're not overwhelmed by it anymore. And this is very empowering. and this is an opportunity, okay, to kind of reach this level of King of Cups, reach this level of peace, reach this level of wisdom. So take what resonates with that. It can be even both if that resonates, you know, that you're on this journey of emotional balance, but also that there is an actual King of Cups as well, someone who's on your emotional journey who can meet you and be part of this in some way. Take what resonates with that. So moving on now to, this is placement 7, is really going broader and looking at the overall theme for 2025. So what will be the central focus or guiding energy throughout the year ahead, okay? Ooh, and we have a major arcana and we have the moon. It's also group number 1. I always feel like this is going to be such an emotionally led year for you. It's really about, the moon again is about our intuition, our instinct. It's much like you've had lots of cups energy here, which is about really in some ways just being emotionally led, about being, your focus being on going with the flow, on joy, on happiness. The moon is about being able to have such a strong trust in our intuition that we're not really scared of the unknown, we're not scared of the dark, metaphorically, yeah. The moon, if you think about it, what it represents, you know, it has a mysterious energy, you know, like the nighttime, it's our subconscious, it's the hidden. And it's about trusting that the path ahead will be illuminated and not really worrying about how it unfolds or every step. It feels like that the theme for 2025 for you, group number 1, is about releasing control in a way, living more organically, naturally, taking your foot off the gas. Even doesn't mean that you won't make progress and you won't hit your achievements, but it's more about how you approach it, yeah. Maybe you've struggled in the past to trust in the process, and there's this thing about needing to micromanage every situation, or to this feeling that you have to work incredibly hard to make it happen. And all the energy of these cards is about going your path, however strange or odd that might look or sound to other people, but being able to trust your instinct on that, being able to rest and understand that that's part of the progress. This kind of deep, emotional, intuitive wisdom that's going to be gained as well, which very much feels in line with the moon energy. So it really is about going into the unknown and getting comfortable with the unknown, group number 1, and working from this aspect rather than having to understand and try to see what's coming and working incredibly hard. This is about beliefs and control, coming from a place more of the subconscious, you know, paying attention to your dreams, paying attention to your intuition, dropping to really down to a deeper level. And when you interact with others as well, to trust your intuition, okay? Aligning with your spiritual family of people who also kind of operate like that. And you know, trusting red flags if they come into you, if people are bringing and showing you red flags, trusting that and just being able to go on your intuition. If someone's energy doesn't feel right, they're not pursuing that connection. If a situation is presenting in a certain way, but your subconscious and your intuition is telling you something different, then go in with that. So more continuation of this energy of getting comfortable with the unknown, group number one, and forging this new path ahead, this unique path, this different path as well, and getting less and less scared of that as you go along, and being able to take risks, really bigger risks, and broaden your horizons and ambitions for success, whatever that means to you. And then let's have a look at this final placement, which is any final messages, okay, of what's on the horizon for you, group number one. We have the Five of Wands. And this is about, the Five of Wands is about, if you do, which no doubt, you know, we all will experience some kind of conflict, be this insiders or be this with others, because you are going down a different path here, is what I feel very much, group number one. You're treading, it's, what's that expression, I can't think, but anyway, it's about, you're going down a road that not many people have been down before. You're treading new territory, okay, for you, which could kick up some conflict with others around you and within yourself. And the Five of Wands brings the message that, number one, don't be afraid of this, because it isn't going to cause any long-term damage. And going against the grain, this is what you can expect by going against the grain, okay? People might not understand. You might have times when you don't understand and you feel like conflicted. Should I do this? Shouldn't I? Etc. Things like, it doesn't feel like it's happening on a big level, but it's happening on a smaller level, like on the kind of day-to-day. And the Five of Wands brings the message, number one, this will pass. It's just a fleeting moment, really, a fleeting interaction with someone, that it'll be dropped. It won't cause any long-term damage if you get kickback from other people. The same for yourself, that fear, that kickback that you might get from going down a different path, it will pass. And there won't be any long-term damage caused. And also with the Five of Wands, I always think with wands and with the five that it's about kicking up dust that needs to happen. This change needs to happen, okay? And with change and with kicking up the dust can come a bit of conflict, can come a bit of disagreement within yourself and with others. That's just part of the course, okay? So take it with a pinch of salt. Don't read too much into this. Just regroup, center yourself, trust your intuition, double down on taking this different road, kind of breaking the rules, not following the rule book, because this is what's going to lead you to this emotional fulfillment and happiness. You're really going for it and not settling anymore for anything less than the fullest emotional fulfillment that you desire. So yeah, this is the final message. Just when things feel a little bit tricky, when you may get a bit of pushback, just understand that this is part of the course of going this different route, and this kicking up the dust and change needs to happen. So group number one, that was your 2025 reading. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please do give me a thumbs up and leave any comments down below. It'd be great to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do consider subscribing, just to help support the channel, and also so you'll be notified for any future uploads. But wishing you nothing but love, light and success for 2025, group number one. Take care. Hey group number two, and welcome to your 2025 reading. So you chose the Modern Witch Tarot Fool card. Lovely bright colours, bright energy, which we'll just put to one side. Like I say, the Fool represents new beginnings, new adventures, and entering the unknown, as we are now, as we head into this new year. So I've shuffled and pulled your cards. I haven't looked at them yet, so we'll do that together in real time. And let's start off with your first placement. which is the major lesson from last year. So what was the most important thing that you learned in 2024? And we have the King of Cups. Couple of things here, okay? So for the King of Cups is a master at understanding their emotions and being able to feel their emotions, be sensitive, be empathic. They are deep thinkers, deep feelers, all that good stuff, okay? But they're not overwhelmed by their emotions. Can you see how this person is in control, okay? They're a cool character, they're sitting back, they are not stressed. All this kind of choppy waters are actually just at their feet and surrounding them, but they're kind of sitting pretty, they're on their throne, they're kind of leveled up and raised above all that kind of messiness and overwhelmment that when we get ourselves into a tailspin and get taken down by our feelings. So it's not about oppressing or repressing our feelings, which a lot of people feel like, a lot of us feel like that we have to do, that somehow that's a way to control our feelings. It's about suppressing them. I don't want to feel like this, I just want to get past it, etc., etc. But the King of Cups understands that we have to feel the emotion, process it, allow it to kind of go through our bodies, go through our minds, so it doesn't get its hooks into us and sit and fester, but it can kind of go through us, if that makes sense, okay? And also just a caveat message, this can be a King of Cups, this can actually be a person for some of you, group number 2, where someone, this King of Cups energy can be a water sign or someone with this strong in their chart. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, who taught you a lesson, I guess, who through this connection with this person, this King of Cups, you went through something together and there was a lesson learned from this situation. It can be, for some of you, it could be a romantic connection that this person has brought you. You know, this lesson could be learned in many ways. It could be that you went through something, this connection ended, and you took a lot from that. Or it could be that this person came into your life and they showed you a kind of a new way to be and how to process your emotions and feel things along these kind of lines. Deeper feelings were brought up, but you were able to manage them. So tell you what resonates with that. Can be both of those things, okay? But either way, you've kind of got a deeper understanding on feelings and emotions and this new perspective, I feel like, and you've been put down a certain road about being able to feel your feelings more instead of try to repress them. Moving on now, so to placement 2, this is the greatest achievement of 2024 for you. So what can you most be proud of and what can you take from the past year is your biggest achievement? The Magician, beautiful energy. The Magician is about being able to take this vision, this ideal, and bring it into the 3D. The Magician has all the tools laid out in front of them, meaning that you have the ability and the skill to achieve your dream, whatever that might be for you, okay? Whatever is your highest ideal, group number 2. It can be many things, it doesn't just have to be one thing. And there's somehow getting a handle on this. I think that you've made leaps and bounds in 2024 about using the power of universal energy, of manifestation, of visualization, of holding that self-belief, yeah, and kind of conquering self-doubt and understanding that it's not just about effort, hard work. It's a combination of, you know, effort, hard work, but also of going with the flow, also of the sword that talks about cutting ties with, knowing when to let go, yeah, cutting ties with people, places, things that no longer align us, that are draining our energy. Every suit is here. So we have the cups, which is about the emotional aspect of success and our dreams, going with the flow, being heartfelt, being heart-led, having an open heart. Wands is about our passions and being fired up and taking inspired action, not just action for the sake of action to make us feel like we're doing stuff, but instead it's about inspired action, knowing when to pounce, knowing when to strike, yeah, at just the right time is so much more effective than just burning ourselves out with action. Pentacles represents the kind of realistic, the grounded energy of about kind of consistently also showing up every day though and doing what needs to be done. Not burning ourselves out, but just being consistent. So it's kind of a combination of all these energies that I'm drawn with. And then this kind of then surrendering it to the universe, being able to then see the magic in the situation, understanding the element of luck, of that the universe is working behind the scenes to support you and make this happen, and needing to surrender to that to allow that energy to come through. And you may have experienced this as well in 2024, of actually firsthand manifesting dreams and desires that you've had for some time and watching and feeling that happen, manifesting something into the 3D. So this is your greatest achievement of 2024, and it's a huge thing. It's a huge achievement to kind of understand the manifestation process and understand all these different elements that are at play, and somehow being able to harness that energy and bring it into the 3D. And you've been able to make those shifts, group number 2, which is what I'm seeing. Something very important that you can bring into 2025 and beyond, yeah? Moving on to placement 3, which is what you've released. So what you have let go of to make space for the new. Let's see what needed to be let go of and what you did let go of. The 6 of Cups. This, what I hear is straight away, I hear the past. The 6 of Cups is about some kind of longing, and it can mean many things, but in this placement, it talks about longing and nostalgia and wanting to get back to that, wanting to get back to how things were. So a different time for you that represents when things were maybe more simple, were happy. Could be a connection with someone, about wanting to kind of go back to the beginning. And I feel like you finally realised and come to the conclusion that this idea, it's become an idea, okay, group number 2, that maybe it's even the past has become somewhat, you know, you remember it more fondly than what it actually was like. But for some of you it can be quite painful as well. I think about coming to that realization that you're never going to be able to get back to how things were, or how you wanted things to be, how you imagined things could be. Can be very much connected to our inner child as well. That longing that our inner child can have to be connected with someone. For some of you it can be about connecting with someone. This can be romantic, this could be family, friendship, anything, you know, about wanting to connect with someone in this certain way, an understanding, really coming to that realization that it's never going to look like that, it's never going to be like that. Doesn't mean that you have to release them entirely. For some of you it can mean that you need to let them go, but for some of you it can be, okay, well, this is going to look different then. This is never going to look like how I have longed for some time. And being able to release that will free you up to be able to move on from this, essentially. Yeah, a painful but important lesson there. Placement for group number 2. So this is, we now begin to shift and look ahead into what 2025 will bring and the future. We've looked at influences from the past, and placement 4 is what awaits you in 2025. So what energy or opportunities are coming for you this year? Oh wow, and we have the devil energy. So the devil energy is the opportunity. So there are no, some people freak out when they see the devil card, much like the death card, but really there are no negative cards in the deck. The devil is an opportunity, okay, to release some habits, some ties to people, places, things that no longer serve us. So this can be connections that no longer serve you and don't align with you, and being able to break free from this finally. Group number 2, this is the year when you'll be able to break the chains. That's what I'm hearing, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like you've known for some time that you wanted really badly for this to happen. It kind of feels connected to this 6 of Cups, of coming to this realization that it's never gonna, this connection is never gonna look like how you want it to. So number 1, it can be about releasing this situation or person, finally cutting that tie, or it can be about cutting the tie in a different way, in the sense of viewing it differently and gaining a new perspective and being able to adapt and change and step into the connection looking and feeling different, and you kind of showing up in a different way in that. Or if that circumstance, like say if it was work that was very triggering or something, and then you understanding, okay, I'm going to stop kind of approaching this situation in this certain way that is hurting me, that is harming me, that is triggering me. So I'm going to release that and I'm going to show up in this way. For many of you though, I do feel like it's bringing in, ushering in change and actually freeing yourself, like actually cutting ties and releasing this person, place and thing, and moving on to something different and something better. So that's what's coming. It's a powerful change, because if you can get on top and release this negative tie, then it's going to open up a whole new space, yeah, for something new and for something better. Moving on now, so this is placement 5. This is your biggest challenge in 2025. So what obstacle might you face and how can you overcome it? Another major arcana, so temperance. So your biggest challenge, so temperance is about balance, essentially. It's about harmony. Can you see how this woman as well I'm drawn to, she has like one foot in this river and one foot out. So that's kind of how I'm reading it today, how it jumps off the page to me today, is about having one foot in the unseen, the mystical, where the magic lies, yeah, leaving things up to the universe, and then having one foot in the 3D, in reality, in the here and now, and being able to blend those two. I'm drawn to these bright orange wings as well that represent to me being able to take flight, being able to find freedom, being able to connect spiritually to whoever your, God, universal energy, higher power, whoever that might be to you. being able to stay very connected to them. So it's about blending these two worlds in essence, group number 2, and being able to find that balance within you. So kind of doing it's along the lines as well, it's much like this magician, it echoes very similar to that kind of energy. You have mastered that, being able to understand all the different parts and energies at play about inspired action, and then when to leave it up to the universe, when to surrender. And this continues into 2025. You begin to deepen this understanding. You know, it's kind of never ending in a way, this lesson and this understanding. There's no finish line of mastering this skill of inspired action, tied in with when to surrender into the universe. Okay, so this journey continues. And I suppose when you are struggling with a situation, try to find that inner peace and harmony, because temperance as well is about patience, and patience is a strategy. Patience is a strategy that not many people value nowadays. Okay, it's kind of frowned upon. It's seen as being stagnant. It's been seen as being, you know, let's not be patient. If things have to happen now, you know, things have to happen yesterday. So when you're struggling, try to return back to this. Maybe you need to surrender a bit more if you're getting impatient. And try to find that harmonious balance. We're always trying to strike that balance. Okay, next placement. So your greatest opportunity in 2025. So where can you shine or grow the most this year? Oh, wonderful. The Sun, another major arcana. So there's a lot of joy and happiness ahead. Group number 2 of 2025. This is a beautiful card to see and really very affirming. Your greatest opportunity in 2025 is that I feel like there is an opportunity for such joy and such happiness. Also success. This is what I'm seeing, like this sun is shining so brightly, it is bursting out from behind the clouds. So this to me also talks about milestones being met, of, you know, when you think of achievements of what you desire and what you want, what would bring happiness to you, what is that spark of joy? You know, if you just stop and take a breath, what would that actually look like? Then I see that that's possible. This is what's coming for you. This is the opportunity. So really embrace it when it does come. You know, if it's, you know, in these difficult times as well that we're currently living in, you know, the Sun card is a reminder as well to seek for those moments of joy, small and big. So there's those big achievements that I believe are on their way to you. The Sun card being the happiest and most positive card in the deck. But it's also about finding the joy on the day-to-day as well. So this is like a child, obviously, who's represented in this deck. And it's almost like that childlike approach to life, okay, of being open to wonder and being able to seek out those small moments of joy and happiness as well, those interactions with others, those small pleasures that you have, whatever that is for you, of just enjoying things for the sake of enjoying things, and them not necessarily being tied to achievements and success. I see a combination of both those things happening, okay? Big events, big achievements, but also pepper them. Don't forget the small moments of joy and seek the joy in every day. Okay, and the next placement is, so this is a placement. It's more a broader, like, overall look at the theme for 2025 for you, group number 2. So what will be the overall focus and guiding energy for the year ahead? 7 of Cups. Wonderful. 7 of Cups is opportunity. It is choices. It's almost, I'm hearing, spoilt for choice. And this is the theme, so there's a lot of good stuff coming your way. Very kind of manifestation, magician energy. We've got the Temperance, we've got the Sun. Even the Devil card here, which is more intense energy, but it's about finally being able to, I feel like, let go of and break those ties, break those chains. So there's a lot going on. I feel like there's a lot coming towards you, group number 2. We see this person who is standing before 7 cups. So it's like 7 different pathways, almost an overwhelming amount of opportunities and offers in kind of lots of different areas of your life as well, because we've got romance, we've got that almost looks like a pile of money to me, and pearls, and, you know, abundance, like financial success, worldly success. We've got a victory wreath. We've also got, you know, a snake and a tornado. Got beautiful red rose, and then some kind of clenched fist. It's also like a mixed bag of energies, okay? And the 7 of Cups always brings the message that it's about keeping that foot in reality, which we've seen in this Temperance, and not getting caught up into, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, then it most probably is, okay? So it's about avoiding being delusional. So it's about, and also I see this card very much so about aligning with what's really good for you, and trusting your intuition. So not going for the thing maybe that looks the most shiny, or even the thing that maybe you think you should go for. You know, it could be about, you know, if you, for example, if it was a connection with someone who on paper they sounded ideal, they were bringing a lot to the table, and they were kind of the right choice, yeah, but you knew that there wasn't really any spark or any really deep connection there. So it's about kind of shifting away from that and not just going with what you think you should go with. It's more about taking the path that really aligns with your spirit, that really aligns with your soul. But I'm hearing very much as well, it's about staying grounded and not getting caught up in illusion or delusion, yeah? So about being quite honest with yourself, because a lot of kind of head in the clouds here is what I'm seeing, this clouds and all this cup. So it's like there's kind of a lot of emotions are running quite high, I think, and because there'll be so much sort of coming towards you, which is fantastic. But I feel like the message is about staying grounded, staying anchored in reality and centered, and making the right choices to capitalize off, to get to where you want to be, to have these successful sun moments of joy and happiness, okay? This is about making the right decisions for you. And then the last card is any final messages about what's coming towards you, sort of a further glimpse into the future, and any final messages for your 2025 journey. 6 of Pentacles. For some of you, it can be about coming into financial stability after a time maybe of not being there. So for some of you, 6 of Pentacles is finances finally coming into balance. Also, this can broaden into, you know, however we show up in the material world. So this can be work stuff in turn getting more balanced, okay? Your living situation, it's how we meet the kind of 3D. When we see the pentacles, it's about how we're interacting with the material world and the 3D. And the 6 of Pentacles is about balance, and it's about reciprocity as well, so it's about give and take. So a situation where maybe you feel like you've been given too much and not getting anything back, this is about that coming into alignment and balance as well. There's quite a few messages and the overall theme for you group number 2 about staying balanced, because we've got the temperance here. So striking that balance about of being realistic, so again, not giving too much to a situation and hoping that one day, you know, you'll get back what you put in. This is about making those moves and decisions where you're actually getting yourself into a position where what you're giving is valued and what you're getting back is appropriate for what you're giving. Okay, so you're not being taken advantage of. But also I'm hearing very much it's about moving into more stability, less up and down. So that's nice as well. So we sort of end on quite a grounded note as well, after a lot of kind of emotional, kind of spiritual energy as well. Opportunity to liberate yourself and move into this kind of powerful manifestation energy. And the Six of Pentacles is how it's kind of going to look in the 3D, and the real world is more stability, more balance. That's what we're doing this all for. Okay, that's what we're making these right decisions and not buying into illusion or delusion, is to get ourselves set up in the kind of physical world and where we're in a good position, where we're able to thrive. Yeah. So group number 2, that was your 2025 reading. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, please do give me a thumbs up. Leave any comments in the section down below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing to be notified of all future videos, uploads, and to support the channel. But wishing you nothing but love, light and success for 2025, group number 2. Take care. Hey group number 3, and welcome to your 2025 reading. You chose the Muse tarot deck. The Fool card there, which, like we mentioned in the intro, just represents new beginnings and heading into the unknown, as we all are as we head into 2025. I've shuffled and pulled your cards, but I haven't looked at them yet, which we'll do together in real time. And let's start off with your first placement, which represents the major lesson from 2024. Okay, so what was the most important thing you learned last year? And we have the 9 of Inspiration. And group number 3, 9 of Inspiration, to me, and particularly in this deck, is all about standing your ground and setting boundaries. Look how this woman here is firmly standing in this spot. There's a lot of inspiration as well. It is ruled by the element of fire. Okay, so this can be in a situation which I feel has pushed you to the limits in many ways. Someone or a situation, you know, multiple people who have pushed you and challenged you, tried to break you even in many ways, and that's what it's felt like. Okay, intentionally or unintentionally, this was an incredibly kind of intense situation, triggering situation, I feel like, as well. And you've really come out fighting with this 9 of Inspiration. Okay, you found your inner strength and you haven't broken, and you've come out fighting, and you've learned as well to, when I say fighting, I mean it in really kind of an assertive way. There's could be a lot of emotion is what I'm feeling, even a lot of anger and pain and hurt, you know, that this situation has pushed you. Someone will have broken your trust, maybe. Feeling challenged for, you know, without warrant from a situation that's felt like it's tried to break your spirit, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, very testing, very trying, and you've able to put this boundary in place So I want you to believe in that as well, that you have done that, because I feel like for some of you, you have done it, but you might not have caught up with yourself that you feel like you've done that. And kind of and empower yourself in that knowledge that you are doing this, that you've done that you are holding a boundary. You're being assertive and you are saying no to a situation, and that you won't be broken and that you won't be pushed and you won't give in. However that's looked like, if you've had to leave a situation in order to put this boundary in place, or if you're still sort of in the eye of the storm, group number 3. But in that eye of the storm, you are standing your ground. It takes a lot of energy to do this, okay? But you're doing it and you've done it. And this is the major lesson, is, I guess, I feel like, is that you've learned how to do this. Interesting, kicking off with some strong energies there. Let's move on to the second placement, which is your greatest achievement in 2024, group number 3. So what to be most proud of from the last year. The Ace of Materials. You made a new beginning and a fresh start of some kind. You created this new beginning for yourself through hard work, through effort. So this could be a new business, a fresh start, a new materials can be connected to finances and money, so that can resonate for some of you. For others, it could even be like a move and a new living situation. We see these flowers here, which talks to me about creating space and this new beginning where you can blossom and grow. And I very much feel like that it's a new beginning that you created for yourself. It wasn't offered to you or given to you. This was something that you did from the grassroots, you know, from the ground up. You created this opportunity for yourself. And you set yourself open and on a different road. It will vary for some of you how far down this road that you're on, but no doubt it will lead to, you know, after the Ace, we go to the 2 of Materials, to, you know, right up to the 10, to the King of Materials, which is, you know, we're talking about financial success, opportunity, and being in a kind of good position in the material world. So whatever that looks like to you, you know, if you needed to improve your living situation, for example, it's like you've set yourself on the right track. If you work-wise, career-wise, if you needed to create this fresh start, you went ahead and did that. So I feel like you've set yourself up on the right track, basically, by making this move, by making this fresh start. That was the most important thing that you needed to do, and you did it. And let's, you know, watch this space of what happens next. But this was the greatest achievement, that you made that fresh start. You took those steps and were brave enough to go for it. Okay, it took bravery and it took courage, is what I'm feeling. Okay, so let's move on now to placement 3, group number 3. So what you've released in 2024. So what did you need to let go of and in order to make space for the new? 8 of Emotions. You walked away from what was no longer emotionally fulfilling for you, group number 3. And this took, again, a lot of bravery, a lot of courage. I see right through from these energies so far in 2024. It was about really being pushed, I feel like, and to places that you really didn't want to go. Like 8 of Emotions, I very much feel like, you know, maybe part of you didn't even want to make this fresh start and this new beginning, but you knew that you had to because of what was going on, yeah? What led you to what was going on around you, and that people weren't showing up for you, that this situation was emotionally unfulfilling. And we see this woman here who was bravely walking across the desert. You headed out into the unknown, into almost this kind of bleakness, you know, of the desert, that kind of what's out there, what's coming next, we don't know. But you did the right thing by, you knew that where you were and what was going on, in 2024 needed to be released. So again, take what resonates, a person, place or thing, you know, situation or relationship or combination of them both. That, yeah, it wasn't enough and you need, in order to thrive, in order to be happy, essentially, you needed to walk away from that situation. So wherever you're at on that journey, again, you may be in the process, though, beginnings of these first few steps, or you might be quite far along. So Tower resonates with that. But what I'm seeing and feeling is that you maybe, well, you took that risk anyway. And you released what no longer aligned with you and what no longer was emotionally no longer enough. Yeah. Okay. Very clear messages coming through for you, group number 3. I really get a sense of your journey so far. We now switch it up into the placements. We begin to look ahead. So what's coming in 2025? We've looked at what's been learned and what's released, kind of what's brought you to where you are now after 2024. We now look ahead to the future. So placement 4 is what awaits you in 2025. So what energy or opportunities are coming your way this year? Wow, 10 of materials. Some success, yeah, a lot of success. Not just some success, a lot of success. 10 of materials is reaching a significant milestone, which is opening up to you, group number 3. This is going to happen in 2025, okay? You're making, now with materials, this is, again, like I've touched on, I actually mentioned about, you know, how we're working towards the 10. So in 2024, this new path, whatever this is for you, this Ace of Materials, this is, like I said, you've put yourself, it was so important because it's gonna, we need to start the Ace of Materials in order to get to the 10 of Materials, okay? It's the only way. We can't jump from A to F, okay? We have to go A, B, C, etc., you know, through these. So we can't get to 10 without first beginning this Ace. But this is what awaits you. 10 of materials is like a significant milestone. Materials talks can, for many of you, be about financial success. It talks about the ideal in a way, about a committed relationship, you know, having it all really. So in a traditional sense, that might look like a higher level of commitment in a relationship, having been in a lovely home, being in a stable place in your life, in the area of material stuff, okay, in the 3D, being in a job, you know, ascending your career path, so a promotion. If it's your own business, that taking off and reaching this significant level of just material success and stability. It's absolutely bursting with positive energy and growth, okay? I feel like you'd be quite amazed at you. So it feels quite fast trajectory that you're on from whenever this Ace of Materials happened. It might feel quite, you might have had a few false starts at the beginning, maybe feel like it's been quite slow. But we've gone from the Ace to the 10 in a short space of time, yeah? Or we will be in 2025, okay? So before 2025 is out, you will be in this 10 of materials energy, connecting very much as well to your spiritual family, group number 3, about people who will help you on this journey. Again, family, friends, colleagues, all of the above, okay? Making this kind of strong circle, this strong network of connection, who you're all sort of on the same page and part of this journey, yeah? Interesting, fantastic energy. Really get a strong positive vibe from that card, and just awesome to see. Let's move on. So this placement, your biggest challenge in 2025, so just to prepare you for what obstacles might you face and how you can overcome it. 3 of Voices. some kind of heartbreak and heartache that I think has already happened. I think connected very much to this Nine of Inspiration of being let down, challenged, pushed into a place like we talked about where you didn't want to go, a decision that you didn't want to have to make. You didn't want to have to be so brutal in some ways of this boundary and this stance, but this person let you down, a situation let you down. You had to walk away and ask for more with this Eight of Emotions. There's hurt, yeah, there's sadness from this, of course. You have been brave, you have been courageous, you have been strong, but part of this as well, part of coming to that realization that emotionally you weren't getting enough from this situation, you felt betrayed, you felt let down. This is a real sort of knife in the heart kind of moment with this Three of Voices, yeah. So this is the placement of what's your biggest challenge, and I think it's about being able to heal really from this. So you, in the process as we cross over from 24 to 25, you've changed your situation and you've made the right decisions is what I'm seeing, and you've gone in the path of self-preservation, yeah, and you've done the right thing for you, which is fantastic, which is great. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, okay? It doesn't mean that there's not a lot of sadness and healing to be done. So just kind of give yourself the space and the grace to understand this flip side of the situation as well, and about how you wished that things had worked out differently is what I'm feeling and thinking. There will be some tears to be shed. There will be some moments alone when you really feel the disappointment of that situation. I feel group number 3. So just allow yourself, like I say, give yourself the space and grace to heal and not just try to jump over this, and be in that, you've been very brave and strong and it's taken a lot of courage. But also there's this softer side of, where it's hurt our heart, and try to, talk to people that are trusted, loved ones that you can have an honest conversation with and level with and be vulnerable with. Talk to them and continue to share with them in order to try to heal this as much as possible. Okay. Moving on now to your greatest opportunity, group number 3 in 2025. So where can you shine or grow the most this year? Interesting. The High Priestess, a major arcana. You can grow and shine in 2025. The High Priestess is a master at her intuition, the unknown, much like, she's so connected to this moon energy here. And she's able to see through illusion, okay? People can't pull the wool over her eyes. And this is, I think, connected again, going back to what you've been through and this kind of disappointment and betrayal, really, that I've seen that you've been through. But where you can shine is the way you can take from that is that you come out of this as a High Priestess, okay? As someone that, however a situation or however someone is showing up, okay, and how they're trying to spin that this is who they are, or this is the situation, this is the opportunity, you're able to see through to the truth now. You have lost, almost lost a certain kind of innocence or naivety even through what you've been through. It's been tough, yeah, it's been painful, it's really gone deep for you, but you have emerged from this as the High Priestess. And the High Priestess kind of works on a different level to the 3D, she's always kind of reading the situation on a deeper level, in the kind of subconscious. So type of person who walks into a room and is able to feel what others are really feeling. So there any sadness or frustrations, or that they're trying to present a certain image, and actually I don't know, it's just constantly kind of picking up on what's the truth really, and what's really going on. It's quite a lot to actually carry, to kind of go through the world like that, but it's very empowering in the sense that people can't pull the wool over your eyes, and you are essentially just living a very real, truthful and honest existence, and moving through life with kind of no BS, yeah, just anchored to the truth and to reality on this very deep kind of spiritual unconscious level. So this is what's coming 2025 group 3. This is where you can shine now. This is where you kind of capitalize really on what you've been through, in that there's no repeating of that. There's no going back to being sucked in really into people's illusion and spin. You just don't believe it anymore. You just can't. It's like once your eyes are open, there's no closing your eyes to that anymore. People aren't able to pull the wool over your eyes anymore, group number 3 for sure. Okay, let's move on now. So the next placement is kind of a broader look at the general theme. So what will be the overall focus and guiding energy for the year ahead? We have another major arcana, and we have the strength card. And I see this you coming into your strength and power more and more through being this high priestess energy. It looks very similar almost to this 9 of inspiration, a similar kind of defiant, confident, strong energy, but almost a bit more like you have settled into this strength. Yeah, that it's not that it's almost as natural as breathing to you, group number 3, this strong stance and boundaried stance. It becomes second nature to you, becomes natural. This woman is kind of confident, so is able to relax, yeah, because she's just sat atop this beautiful majestic lion, and it's almost like she feels protected and strong. It's like you get comfortable with your strength. This is very much sort of hard won boundary, yeah, hard won, taking a lot of energy to say no, to be like, this is who I am and I'm not putting up with any BS, etc, etc. This is taken a lot for you to fight to create this boundary. We look ahead by the end of 2025 or earlier, and this is you getting comfortable with just naturally being that person, not having to work incredibly hard at being boundary, just naturally having those boundaries. Let's say it becomes as natural as breathing to you, to be like, this is what I'm okay with, this is what I'm not okay with. People will view you in this strong, courageous energy, and it's like they just won't, they'll try and push up against you, and it's just like water off a duck's back. You are comfortable and confident atop this beautiful, you have your courageous, majestic lion with you. You're not bothered. People can, try, but they will fail. And this allows you to look to the future. Can you see how this woman's focus is kind of rested on the horizon to me, which is about just being able to kind of be chilled and be comfortable, and then not having to be fighting in the now and in the everyday. So you're able to kind of plan for the future, look ahead, kind of be strategic, kind of, you've got this newfound freedom because you're not fighting so hard in the here and now. That's done, that's sorted. So you can take a breath and you can look to the future. But just look how relaxed she is as well. She's so chilled. I love this card. I love this energy. And you've got this beautiful lion really protecting you. Really nice reading, group number 3. Let's look at the final placement, which is any final messages from Spirit for you about what's coming for you, what's on the horizon for your journey in 2025. Final messages, Spirit. We have the Moon card, beautiful energy, surrendering to the unknown. Very much similar to the High Priestess energy. This really dominant sort of beautiful moon that just fills this card really. And I keep hearing, I just feel like Spirit says it's like surrendering to this kind of energy, getting comfortable with the unknown, being able to kind of liberate yourself, I think, group number 3, from insecurities as well that have held you back. Anxieties and insecurities have been a big part of you, 2024 or further back. And the Moon card this time around, in this placement and this message for you, I see this woman who looks kind of the same as her to me, but they're from a different perspective. And she's just surrendering to this moon energy, which is about the moon rules the subconscious, the hidden. Again, we're talking that, if you think of the evening and the nighttime, it's kind of where the mysteries unfold. That's what it kind of represents to me. And she's getting comfortable with that kind of energy, about really understanding that it's just our intuition and our trust in our intuition that will guide us, and not needing to know everything that is coming, and not needing to know that the path might not be immediately clear. The moon will illuminate it in time, and also daytime will come as well. The sun will rise. But this feels final messages being about the power of being the High Priestess and the power of the moon, about if we can really surrender and give ourselves to coming from this subconscious place, that this is who you are now, and the benefits of that really, of the not being misled by others, not being influenced by others, not being as challenged, but understanding really on a deeper level and instinctively and intuitively what's going on and what you need to do next. And then you'll kind of have the freedom of the daytime. I see here, this almost like when the sun comes up here, of being able to be more relaxed and be in that place of strength. It is hard won. But really big energies, group number 3, powerful energies. It looks like you're making all the right moves and being strong, and this is going to pay off for you. I hope this reading resonated for you, group number 3. Please do give me a thumbs up if it did. Leave any comments in the section down below. And please consider subscribing if you haven't already, so you'll be notified for all future uploads. But wishing you nothing but love, peace, light and success for 2025, group number 3. Take care.